All right, that was Desi Arnaz with Babalu. And, of course, we know Babalu Aye. Now, as I often suggest you do when you're studying something or learning something, break down the words first, right? If it's the name of something, break down the name of it. We're having a very interesting time right now in the ANU spiritual training within the Facebook group because we're attempting to define the word love, the word divine, and I believe peace. There was a posting that one of the students put up referencing those three terms. And I think divine even came in at one point. Maybe I brought that in. And I charged the students who were clicking the like button and giving up the ashes to define what those words mean. Because oftentimes we do that. We read something and we don't really search. We don't study. We just read. We don't search for the meaning underneath the surface, or we make assumptions about what we think we know or think we believe, or it really is just belief and not knowing. And we miss some of the meaning in things. We miss the value of things. So as a student, it's really important that you make sure that whatever comes across your path, you gain a thorough understanding, overstanding, and understanding of what it is that you're being confronted with. So I say that to say there was a couple of steps that I had given the students, one of which, was, defining things. And it was more, but that was, for the students to have to study. And these were the dogs outside of the rich man's gates who he would go and beg for alms for money, for things that he needed. So interesting enough, we have here with Babalu Aye that the dog is with him. And then it said that this dog was given to him by Osayin and Ogun. Now, when you look at the Kemetic structure, you see Osiris. And prior to Osiris, remember Osiris was a newer energy when he was murdered by his brother Set, or who we know to be Satan or Seth. When Osiris / Osor was murdered, he went down into the underworld, right? And we know the story because I think I told this one, but the Osirian saga. Eventually, he was brought back to life by Oset / Yemoja. And when he was brought back to life, he said, I like it so much down in the underworld. This is where I'm going to be. So he took over the job of running the underworld from Anubis, because that was the order. It was Anubis, then Osiris, and then Osiris was followed by Horus or Heru / Shango. Okay, so here we have, when we're speaking about Heru, Oset, Osor, we're talking about Shango, Yemoja, Obatala, right? Or Yahshua, God the Father, and God the Mother, right? So now, in this instance here, we have Anubis, and as many of you know, Anubis is the dog-headed or the jackal-headed deity, right? He's a canine. So now we see where we get this correlation also with Lazarus of the Bible having these dogs near him, okay? And dogs are considered also to be travelers. They will help accompany you through the underworld. Sometimes you hear terms like the Hounds of Hell, okay? The Hounds of Hell is referring to that Anubis energy. So, and we're still on Babalu Aye. So now with Babalu Aye, right, we have the energy of consequences. When we're dealing with spirituality and we're dealing with physicality or energetic sciences, what we're dealing with is the energy of cause and effect. Now, where is the realm of cause? Where is the realm of effect, you may ask? The realm of cause is the spirit world. Spirit world is the inspired beginning of all things, where the causes of things can be traced. But where are those effects played out? The effects of our spiritual causes are played out on the planet, on Earth, through your physical life. Okay? So the causes begin in Orun, as we know in our Yoruba, or heaven. So we know, of course, with the dog piece. Anytime you see the dog, you're dealing with Ogun. But also Babalu Aye wears palm fronds, what we call the Maori Wolf. And this is also the outfit that Ogun wears, which separates one thing from another, but also the broom is used to remove and to sweep out and to clean sickness. Okay, and you know the palm fronds traditionally were used as cleaning agents, right? So very interesting, and you can call forth Babalu Aye using palm fronds. Now, there's one thing many of you may know about, especially here in the States. You know, I know I have international listeners, but for those, and maybe internationally you may have heard of it as well. I'm not sure. But for those of you in the States, I'm sure you've heard before, you know, of the taboo of sweeping over somebody's foot. You know, I've literally actually seen someone get beat up for that before because he swept someone's foot. And that's a big offense here. It's considered to be bad luck. And it's also considered here, and you hear it more in the southern states, that you can bring someone death, that they'll die in a certain amount of times if you sweep over their foot. Of course, many of these things we don't know where they come from, but let's think about it for a second. If we know that most brooms, as we know, brooms are typically made of straw brooms, which is very similar to the Maori Wolf or the palm frond straw brooms that we carried over from the continent. And we would use these brooms to call forth Babalu Aye. So if you touch me with that broom, you've just done a ritual against me and placed Babalu Aye on me. And we know the sickness you've placed on me, death you've possibly placed on me, so forth and so on. So, you know, sometimes it's very interesting to look at where we get some of our taboos, superstitions, and innate diasporic rituals from. Everything comes from somewhere. So, you know, it was also very interesting, the connection that we've always had between Babalu and Oshun, because we know, as I told you in the book, Grasping the Root of Divine Power, that Oshun deals with the rivers of life that flow through our body, which is our blood, because your blood is a stream unto itself, you know. So now when you're dealing with Babalu Aye, disease and infection is carried through the body, through the blood. So again, there's another connection with Babalu Aye and another Orisha. But why do we address this whole science and idea of cause and effect, right? Well, because a lot of times when we're dealing with deeper level or higher level cultural and spiritual systems, we begin to lose track of our moral compass and our cosmic moral compass, which is more importantly implemented. As I've told you before, when you deal with the higher level of Orisha, there is no morality. The morality is a human conscience.